Okay, so today we're going to take a very first look at the Aeroprakt A-32 Vixxen in Flight Simulator 2024. This has just been released by Got Friends. So first things first, let's go and have a look around the aeroplane with the drone camera. So you can see in its default state, cold and dark, it's got lots of nice covers all over the aeroplane. So we're going to have a look at removing those in a moment, but first of all let's just go and have a look at the level of detail around the aeroplane. Looks very, very good. Let's come out towards the wing. That's pretty cool, isn't it? I mean, I know this is ridiculous going to this level of detail, but people would have a go at me if I didn't. So we can see every rivet, even the patterning in the covering is there. That's cool, isn't it? So you can see the mechanics of the flap hinges and the fuel pipes there going down from the wing. We're going to have a look around inside in a moment. I just want to have a close look at the modelling of the airplane because it looks really, really nice. Let's just go down and have a look at the wheels before we go inside the aeroplane and have a look around. It's good, isn't it? Okay, so the aircraft comes in two versions. There's a 2020 specific version and a 24 specific version. So as you can see, we've got the 2024 pilot in the 2024 version. So there's a little notebook down the side of the instrument panel. I'll show you that once we get in the aeroplane, and we can have a close look around some of the instruments while we're here. So you can see the modelling is next level. Just looks like a factory new photograph, doesn't it? It's amazing, really. So you've got this extra tablet. You can switch it on and off. I'll show you that in a few moments. It's quite novel in that the starter is actually what's labelled as starter here is actually the power. So that's your battery key, essentially. I don't think the fuses are modelled, or breakers I should say. And then we come into the back. We can see some stowage area here. Okay, so if we go and zoom back outside, let's have a bit of a wider look at the aeroplane. So it's a tiny little thing. It's very, very light, not tremendously fast. So, full disclosure, I have taken it for one flight. Although we got an audience over there. Somebody has parked up. Okay, let's get on with this then. So Shift and X puts us inside the cockpit, and let's go and work through what I've figured out so far. So we're going to look behind ourselves. Oh, we need to go and do the walk around first before we do the startup. So go and remove the cover off the propeller, remove the covers off the engine. I'm not sure if we have any interactive elements other than just removing chocks and pitot covers. You can interact with the control surfaces. I have noticed that goes the opposite way than where you drag the mouse, which is a tiny thing to notice, but the elevator works, the rudder works, and I'm just wondering if we come over to this aileron if it will go the right way. No, that's reversed as well. Okay. But that's a, you know, a tiny thing that would be easily fixed. And it doesn't really affect, you know, flying the aeroplane at all. Okay, I'm just going to go and check my volume levels, make sure they're okay. That's looking fine. So, Shift-C will put us back inside the aeroplane, and we're going to look around and pull the door shut. Pop the yoke off just so we can see things as we start the aeroplane up. So, we look behind ourselves, and here is the fuel valve for the left wing, fuel valve for the right wing. So it's interesting, they both rotate the same way, meaning they're the same piece of hardware, just one bolted, you know, so there's no difference in the direction they turn, which I thought was quite novel. Okay, so battery is the key. Nav lights go to on, so nav lights are down here. Avionics master switch on, that's up here. I'm following the checklist, by the way. Normally I wouldn't have thought you'd fire up the avionics before the engine, but not in this aeroplane. So transponder obviously goes to standby. So we go and... oh, that's interesting. I was expecting that to be in the off position. Fuel pump 1 to on. There's some red switches down here. So fuel pump 1, and then there's the standby fuel pump, which is fuel pump 2. And then we're going to open the lanes as well. Strobe light can go to on. Our taxi light can go to on already. Just a few more lights to warn people we're going to start the engine. So then we can crack the throttle open and put the start power on, and then hit the start button. So we can turn the start power back off. I think it's come off on its own actually, yeah. And just monitor the gauges while the aeroplane warms up. So we've got RPM, we're just going to drop that down to, oh, it idles at about 1200. Okay, so we'll take it up to about 1800 or 1500 there, look. So I'm just going to watch the temperatures. Really, ideally I want the oil temperature to come up into the green before we go anywhere. So can we actually close this? No, that's just going to wobble around. Interesting. So should that have a rope the same as that one has got? You can tether. Oh, it's for the it's the power socket for the tablet. Okay, so I mentioned I was going to show you the notebook. So you can switch on and off the tail registration drawing. There's the additional tablet, which is the one over there. So we're probably not going to need it, so we'll get rid of it. So then we end up with a plug socket on both sides wobbling around. We have an optional angle of attack indicator, which is similar. If you've flown the Kodiak, you'll have seen one of these before in the simulator. We'll leave it on. It'll be interesting to look at. You've got gear accessories, which I'm guessing is things like the chocks and stuff like that. Cabin doors, obviously we've gone and closed them. Actually no, gear accessories, that's different, isn't it? I wonder what it relates to. Okay, so yeah, you can just click on the ring binder to put the little book away. We're going to go and calibrate the altimeter while we're here. It's going to be very visual today anyway, so I'm not going to worry too much about doing things by the book. Let's go and turn the GPS on. And to put the transponder to on. Okay, so let's go and turn the landing lights on, which are down here somewhere. There we go. And we've also got a headphone or a headset toggle. So if you turn that on, the engine gets drowned out. So if you get fed up with the engine noise, let's see how loud it is. Yeah, it's quite loud compared to me, but I have the advantage that I can do that here. Okay. So I'm going to turn head tracking on at this point, and we'll put the yoke back. Oh, the yoke is in place. Good. Come off the parking brake. So first things first. Because this is a proper 2024 aeroplane, it's going to interact with the environment. So if we hold it on the brakes, so this is where people often say, oh, you know, is 2024 really that much better than 2020? Yes. And you can see there is a very good example of where it is better. Okay, so we're going to roll out to the runway here. Flaps down. And we're flying. Flaps up. So while we're flying along, we don't need both fuel pumps on. And we'll circle back in a moment. I'm just flying next to this hillside to give ourselves some turning room. It's a great little aeroplane, isn't it? Should put the pitot heat on as well. It's a lovely warm day, but you never can tell if you're going to need it or not. So this is Big Creek, by the way, down below us down here. We're going to turn back around though to where we came from. So we're just going to do a roll in along the landing strip and then turn around and go straight back out again, and we'll go for a fly and go for an explore. There's a deer. It's not running away from us, is it? Okay, flaps back to takeoff position. It's quite the change, isn't it, having a modern aircraft after playing around with the Vilga the other evening. So flaps up completely. No need to gun the engine quite so much. So we're only doing 60 knots, look. It's this aircraft's quite happy tootling along almost at walking pace. Obviously the visibility is wonderful. So we see it from outside. It's no, you know, it's no accident that the visibility is amazing with a cockpit like that. Okay, we're just going to head along the canyon to the next airfield, and then we'll head back and we'll go and kind of wander around some of the nearby airstrips. Yeah, it's a bit wrong to call them airfields, they're airstrips really. This area looks amazing, doesn't it? I like the way the sun is just catching the edge of the propeller. Okay, you can see the next airstrip is just down here. So we're going to have to figure out our approach. Which way is the wind? Let's go and have a quick look on LittleNavMap. So it's a crosswind. So down in the bottom of the valley there won't be any. So I presume we can come in from either direction. Okay. Flaps down. This is like flying a kite with an engine. We're down to 30 knots. And there's the airfield. Oh, sorry, airstrip. Get it right. Okay, let's side slip it. Bushes nearby, aren't there? I think this is going to be a mistake. We're going to go into the boonies. Whoa! And we took the airplane over. Interesting. So the brakes aren't up to much. If you come in at sort of 50 knots, you haven't got much hope on rough ground. This is how we find these things out, though. I'll take it up for some stall tests as well in a moment. So the autopilot had come on automatically, so that was interesting as well. Let's try from the other direction then. Yeah, we're still a bit high, so let's side slip it some more. So the angle of attack indicator is kicking in. Interesting. That crosswind there is still a crosswind down here. I'm having to fight it with the tail a little bit. So, can we take this off from the outside view? I'm usually hopeless at flying these things from outside, but we'll have a go. Some of those trees were a bit close, weren't they? Let it get some speed up. So we're going to go back the way we came. Let's let it climb. Of course, this because we put it into the ground, it's reset the status of some things. So we've got one fuel pump still. We don't need the landing light actually, do we? Strobes and nav lights are good. The transponder is still on. Okay, let's go for some altitude. We're going to convert all of this airspeed we've built up into altitude. So you can see the speed falling off. So we've got some room to play with now. So let's have a look at this angle of attack meter. What's it going to show us? So we're down to below 30 knots. Down to 20 knots. We've got no flaps on, by the way. Whoa, it's unstable. So you can defeat a wing drop with the rudder, which is kind of what you'd expect. With full power as well, obviously. So if we do that with no power, and keep the elevator in, will it spin? Nearly. It picks up speed so quickly and it gains so much lift, it's not going to spin easily. It kind of catches the air and pulls itself back out. It hasn't got enough mass. What if we put some right rudder in with it? It still won't, will it? Let's try it once more. Maybe left. No, it's not going to spin. Which is good. We're trying to force it into doing horrible things. So it's worth pointing out you've got a full suite of normal instruments. So you've got obviously RPM, you've got nav1 here, you've got a vertical speed indicator, a directional gyro, turn coordinator, attitude indicator, indicated airspeed meter, and you've got GNS 430 over there, obviously, so you can easily change frequencies. And it's the single click variant, it's not like the Coronado ones where you have to press twice. Okay, where should we head to? Next airfield's just down the way here. We can see it on the GPS. There's been logging around here. Look, there's tree trunks everywhere. So, in level flight. Sorry, excuse me, it just hiccuped. In level flight with 50% power, I'm just trimming it out to see what it's going to do. We've got about 110 knots of airspeed. So if we go and gun the engine, it doesn't make a huge amount of difference. Okay, so somewhere along here, down in the bottom of the valley, is an airstrip. It must be over here, I would imagine. So you can see the speed building as we go downhill without any flaps, so we can side slip, and that's killing the airspeed. If we can get into flap range, which is at 80 knots, you can see the strip is in the dark, in the shadowed side of the river. We'll see it a bit easier when we're closer. I presume it is. shadow of those trees, hopefully. May have to circle around a couple of times to get eyeballs on where the strip is, with it being so dark down here. Yeah, I think it's just alongside the dirt here, isn't it? So we actually had a lot more room than we thought. Let's come back in the other way. So if we fly out to this part of the canyon, do a bit of a dead man turn. Full flaps. Then we can just roll along. Though it is a bit of a hillside where the parking area was, isn't it? So maybe we won't use that. Be a little bit careful. We tipped it over earlier, didn't we? I know it's a light aeroplane and we can throw it around like a toy, but it's not appreciating it when we do that. Okay, flaps back to take off position. Flat out across the grass. Get some speed up and lift. Clear the tree line. Flaps up. Okay, so let's get a little bit of altitude to get some nice views of the area, and we'll see if there's any beacons around that we might navigate by. So obviously we're drawing squiggly lines all over the map where we're exploring. No, there's no beacons for a very long way, look. And the hills, to be honest, would obscure them. Somewhere we might fly to then. I don't think it has an autopilot, does it? No. You wouldn't expect it to be honest. Oh, let's look where I'm going, in case I slam into a hillside. It's a fun little aeroplane, you really can throw it around. To be careful, there's a crosswind down here that's pushing me towards those dead trees. It is a great little aeroplane, isn't it? It's not very expensive either. I think you can get it for £19 from Got Friends. And for that price, I think you get both the 2020 and the 2024 versions. Watch the wingtips on the trees, I guess. I'll just stay above the tree line on purpose. I don't trust myself. Okay, we are running out of canyon. I'm having to be careful. The wind is whistling down through here and it sometimes catches me and pushes me around, and because we don't weigh much, we're being pushed with the wind towards the hillsides. Okay, there should be another airfield coming up, and maybe we'll have a think about stopping at the next one. Whoa, look at that updraft just caught us. Okay, let's have a look. Seriously, is that the airstrip? Oh my word! How on earth do you even plan to bring it in there? Challenge for the day then. can we bring the aeroplane in? So we'd have to fly the river, come around that bend, and know that we're going to come off the corner straight across the grass. We're too high and too fast. Unless I can slow it down. Oh, downdraft. Oh my word. God, those gusts were not helping us. I've flown, someone's asking in the live stream, have I flown here before? A while ago. I remember the blonde lady. She turned up in the scenery a lot around this area. How on earth do we get back out of here? So I guess we leave the flaps on 50%, hold it on the brakes, full throttle, roll towards as far as we think, and there's the boulders, we can't go any further, and then fly the river direction to get out. There's no other option. And there's birds as well. We've just been passed by a bird. Okay, let's carry on. Some amazing scenery, isn't it? I ought to really check where the fuel level is, because I don't know where I am or where I'm going. There's lots of... Whoa! Downdraft. That suddenly pushed us. I'm getting out of the bottom of this canyon. This is going to get dangerous otherwise. If you get the wind the wrong way down a gully, it can force you into the wall. And that's kind of... Look at that. We've just been thrown up in the air as quickly as we were... And we're being pushed to the right hard. We're almost slope soaring up this wall. That's funny. We've just slope soared all the way up the side of that canyon. Oh my word, look at the views. Maybe we should go back that way. Stall turn. Why have we got an alarm? Oh, it's an overspeeding alarm. You have to keep an eye on the attitude indicator because we can't see a horizon at all. And it would be easy to overspeed the aeroplane, as we just did. So let's have a look at the map and see what's out this direction. There's another airstrip, Simmons. Someone's asking, is this the default scenery? Yes, this is just default 2024 scenery. Some of those dirt airstrips we've just left behind were the custom ones from Orbex for the, I think they call them the deadly and not so deadly airfields. They're kind of well-known dirt strips. But to be honest, it's very, very light scenery. But this is all stock 2024 doing its thing. Let's have a look from outside. So yeah, this is just 2024. So obviously 2024 models the trees down to every leaf of the tree, and it also models the seasons. So coming into fall, we're starting to get fall colours. Within another month or so, there'll be no trees left, no leaves left on the trees, and there'll all be just lots of twigs, apart from the evergreens, obviously. We're being thrown around by the wind again. I think the air is corkscrewing down this canyon, and it's affecting us quite badly. Oh my word. I can't get out of it. I'm having to overspeed purely to lift the nose. We almost got slammed into the wall then. That was full aileron and full elevator, the opposite direction than the wall. It was hard for me to explain to you what was happening inside the cockpit just then. Let's keep an eye on that attitude indicator. Of course, the trees pointing upwards is a big help as well. This whole area of Idaho would be fantastic in fast jets. You can see it's just canyons and gullies and creeks everywhere. Great big ones. Okay. You don't often see sights like that in the simulator, do you? Oh my word. Should we have a look from outside? What do we have coming? lots. And so where does this creek end up? It gets higher and higher until it passes here. Then Sugar Mountain. There's a Stibnite, Johnson Creek. There's Big Creek over here. Okay, we'll go there. We'll go to Big Creek because I think I've got the scenery for Big Creek. It's part of the Orbex kit for the canyons. I think. So it's just over to the north of, or northwest of us. So we're going to have to climb out of here somehow. We've got some speed though. My hand's actually aching on the joystick. But fighting it through those canyons, I was holding on for grim death. I presume we're going to need to, yeah, so we get around the edge of here. If we can get over the ridge, we can drop down into Big Creek fairly easily. How are we doing for speed? Do I go for this ridge here, or do I carry on? Or do I circle back? Let's go for it. I've got an out route if I do it here. We're not going to make that. Oh, I tell a lie, maybe we will. We can start to see the peaks the other side. Yeah, we're going to make it. Just. Give the engine a rest. Let's go and check the map. So it's directly north, so we have to cross this ridge as well. I think we're heading straight for the airfield. I think it's here. You see a straight line in the trees, like a man-made structure. Or maybe that's just the road. Yeah, I think that was maybe just the road. Oh, there's the airstrip. This is quite a big one. I think I came in here a long time ago with one of the bigger aeroplanes, maybe the ATR. I remember it. I came in with the ATR and I flew the route down this valley and landed here. Yeah, because it hasn't got custom scenery, look, it's just a stock stretch of tarmac basically. Okay, let's get the speed down. Come around this outcrop. I have a horrible feeling. Oh, the wind is good. Okay. We've got such a big runway here. Well, it's not really a runway, is it? It's just a flat expanse of something to land on. And because we're into the wind in this tiny little aeroplane, we'll fly to the other end of the runway before we land. It's quite amusing, isn't it? Look, we're just trundling along. Very cool how the undercarriage flexed around then. Very, very good. Gives you some sense of scale if you park it next to a Bonanza, doesn't it? It's not so different in size, it's just a lot lighter. Okay, so how on earth do we stop the engine in this thing? A fuel pump, I guess. Just starve it. Because there's the mags, lane A and lane B. That killed it as well. I guess we ought to turn things off before we turn the power off. That's avionics off, and then power off, and then fuel off behind our shoulders. It's really cool, isn't it? So let's put the drone camera back on and we can have a final look around it before I say goodbye. So this was the Aeroprakt A-32 Vixxen from Got Friends. Let's just change the camera slightly. There we go. It's really nicely done. Easy to fly. It gets thrown around a lot by the wind because it's so light. Nice area of the world to go flying it in as well, though. So there we go. Hopefully you enjoyed that today. That was the, as I said, the Aeroprakt A-32 Vixxen from Got Friends. If you go visit their website, you can get it for 2020 and 2024. It's very good. Or I liked it anyway. I'll leave it there. See you again soon. Take care.